BizView TV is a brand new concept in interview-based video for the internet. I wanted to find out more, so I went along to meet one of BizView's directors to ask him what it's all about.
It's a new concept. There are many companies that make corporate videos. Some of those videos will end up on websites. What we're doing is something slightly different. We're making interview-based videos. The BizView video is all about interviews. Interview, overview, inside view. And what we basically do is go along, we meet some of the key players in that company, we interview them as if we were doing it for television or radio, and we find out what it is that makes them tick, what it is about that company that makes it special, what's the philosophy behind that company.
What kind of experience do you bring to the job?
Well, I come from a background in broadcasting. I've been in broadcasting one way or another since 1985. Over that time I've done a lot of interviews, and I think the more interviews you do, the better you get at it. It's one of those things where you really can't replace experience. And as you learn to interview, you learn to read the signals and to get behind people's thoughts and bring out the best in them. Even if they're reluctant to be interviewed, a skillful interview is one that can get around that and get the best out of somebody.
So what's unique about your company? What's the unique selling point?
Well, I think it is our broadcast background, really. Combined with my partner's excellence in web design and knowing about computers and that sort of thing, we bring a professionalism which I think is unmatched in terms of making short videos for the web, interview-based videos. There are plenty of companies making corporate videos, as I said before. Obviously you can get commercials made. They're very expensive. What we're doing for a fraction of the cost is we're making short 4 or 5 minute videos which really get to the essence of what it is about a company or organisation that makes them special. And it's all based, as I say, around this interview concept.
So how long does that process take, going in, meeting the company and filming?
Well, it's quite straightforward. First of all, we'd have some contact with the firm or the organisation to discuss what it exactly was they wanted to get across, just so that we're all sort of reading off the same hymn sheet, as it were. Then we'll come along to a location of their choice, and we'll spend about half a day filming, basically recording the interview with the 1 or 2 key members of staff, maybe the managing director or the owner or the person that runs the charity or whatever the organisation is. We'll also film what we call in the business cutaways, which are shots which we will intercut when we come to edit it with that main interview. So they might be shots of the product or the service or the environment where the service is based, just things to make it look more interesting pictorially and supply information to the viewer. We then take all of that material away after our half day's shooting, and that will of course be edited. A short while later the client will be sent a link to a website that they can log on to, and they can watch the first edit of the video. And at that point they can say that they want amendments, or they might discover that some of the narration we've put on is factually incorrect or not quite right, or maybe they made a mistake which they want corrected, that sort of thing. So we will then re-edit it, we'd agree a completed version, and at that point it's ready to put onto their website.
So what are the benefits of having a video like this made?
Well, I think traditionally the website has been an important marketing tool. It's becoming increasingly important, but it has been a fairly static one. Most websites don't really do very much. They are, if you like, an online brochure. And I think now, with the ubiquity of video on the web through such sites as YouTube and the other social networking sites, people almost expect to see video on the web now. So what the company gets if they have a BizView video is they get this human face appearing on the website, so that when somebody logs on, when a customer goes onto your website and they see the video, they can see the MD or the director or the founder or whoever it is, and they can say, oh yes, there's a human face, there's the person that runs this organisation. And it imbues a bit of trust, I think. You can look them in the eye and say, yes, I like what this person is saying, I like the attitude of this person, I think I might use that company. And that's what it's all about. It's seeing that person for real rather than just reading about them. It's also a very efficient way of getting information across. Studies have shown time and again that when we look and hear things, we absorb them much better than when we read them.
Who would benefit from your product? What kind of people do you work with?
Well, we've worked with a lot of different types of organisations. For example, one of the first ones we did was an entrepreneur who'd set up his own company from scratch, and he'd grown it into a fairly sizable company, several £1 million turnover, and he was interested in putting a video on his site. Now, when we went along to record him, we thought, well, this will obviously be about how they make their product, how they supply their product, how the firm got started. But interestingly, it became much more than that. It became all about the philosophy behind the company. The man who ran this company had a very, very strict set of ideas about how he felt customers should be treated, and about how his staff should treat the customers, and how the staff should treat one another as well. So that was his philosophy, and that came across very strongly in the video and made the video very effective on his website for potential customers. Another example is an artist, a contemporary artist who we went to film in his studio. He was a struggling artist. He's not well known. He's trying to make his name in the world. Now, it's a very competitive world, and he's hoping that by having a video on his website, he can stand out from the crowd, because potential buyers and galleries and so forth can actually see his work, and they can see him talking about it. So it's not just a faceless picture in a catalogue. They've actually got him there giving his philosophy.
Just finally, how can we find out more information about you?
www.bizview.tv. That's our website, that's where it all happens. If you go on there, there's lots of examples of our work. So don't take my word for it, have a look at those examples and just imagine what a BizView video can do for your organisation.